It's 2 a.m., and you're staring at the ceiling in the dark. Your mind suddenly pulls up that one conversation from years ago, the one where you cracked a joke that landed flat, or you hesitated too long before answering, or maybe you just came across a bit too intense. Now your brain is running it back frame by frame, the awkward silence, the way their eyebrow twitched, the exact words you used. You're convinced they walked away thinking, wow, that person is strange. And the worst part? You're wide awake, heart racing, dissecting it like it's evidence in a trial against yourself. Here's the thing. Almost everyone does this. It's not just random overthinking or being too sensitive. Psychologists call it rumination, and when it targets social moments like conversations, it's often tied to something called post-event processing. Your brain isn't replaying the chat to torture you for fun, it's trying to protect you. But in the process, it ends up doing the exact opposite. Why does this happen so intensely at night, when everything else is quiet? Because during the day, distractions keep those thoughts at bay. At night, with no interruptions, the mind defaults to scanning for threats. And for our social brains, one of the biggest threats is rejection or looking foolish in front of others. Evolution wired us to care deeply about how we're perceived. Belonging meant survival back in the day. So even a tiny social misstep feels like a danger signal, and rumination kicks in as a misguided attempt to solve it. Most of the time, though, we're not actually analyzing what the other person thought. Deep down, we're replaying to fix ourselves. We imagine saying the wittier line, the smoother response, the version of us that's confident and unflappable. It's like mentally editing a scene to make the you in it perfect. The pain comes from realizing you can't change it. The moment is gone, and you're left facing the real, imperfect version of yourself who showed up that day. And those tiny slips, the ones where you stumbled over a word or laughed a second too late, they stick the hardest because they poke at a bigger insecurity, the gap between who you are right now and who you think you should be. Research shows we ruminate most when there's a disconnect between our actual self and our ideal self. Every replay is your brain highlighting that gap, whispering, "See, you're not there yet." But here's a twist that makes it even more exhausting. Memory isn't a recording, it's reconstructive. Every time you revisit that conversation in your head, you're not pulling up the original event, you're recalling the last time you remembered it. Each replay gets filtered through your current mood, your anxiety, your self-doubt. Awkward pauses get longer in your mind, facial expressions get harsher, judgments get invented. What started as a mildly off moment turns into a full-blown disaster. You're not torturing yourself over what happened. You're torturing yourself over a distorted, exaggerated version that your anxiety has been editing for years. People often say, "I replay it to learn and get better next time." And yeah, there's a healthy version of that, reflection. Reflection is purposeful. You look back, pull out one or two real lessons, like next time I'll pause before jumping in, feel a bit of compassion for your past self, and then move on. It has closure. Rumination? It's endless. You extract the same lesson, beat yourself up, replay for more details, feel worse, replay again. No progress, just a loop that amps up anxiety and drains your energy. The difference is huge. Reflection builds you up. Rumination tears you down. Another layer. When you keep rehearsing that better version of yourself in your mind, you're quietly reinforcing the idea that the real you isn't enough. The authentic, slightly awkward human you who was just trying their best that day gets labeled as flawed. Over time, this chips away at self-compassion. Studies link low self-compassion to more intense rumination cycles because without kindness toward your own mistakes, your brain stays in critic mode, collecting proof that you're not worthy of easy connection. The real heartbreak isn't the original awkward moment, it's the years you've spent letting one fleeting interaction define your worth. You've turned a single snapshot into your whole story. But that snapshot isn't the full picture. Your brain knows it too, on some level. That's why it keeps coming back, not because the moment was catastrophic, but because it doesn't fit with everything else you know about who you are: kind, capable, growing. So what if the fix isn't to replay it better? What if it's to loosen its grip? Recognize that conversations are just moments, imperfect, one-sided glimpses of two people doing their best with what they had right then. The other person probably walked away and forgot it 5 minutes later. They have their own replays keeping them up at night, not yours. Next time the loop starts at 3 a.m., try this. Notice it without judgment. Say to yourself, "There's my brain trying to protect me again." Then gently redirect. Focus on your breathing, or name 3 things you can feel in the room, or remind yourself, "That was then. I'm here now, and I'm allowed to be human." Over time, self-kindness interrupts the cycle more than endless analysis ever could. You're not broken for replaying these things. You're human, wired for connection, and sometimes that wiring gets stuck. But you don't have to stay stuck. Those old conversations don't get the final say on who you are. You do, right now, in the present ones you're brave enough to have. If this hit home for you, smash that subscribe button so you don't miss more deep dives like this. And if you want to help keep these videos coming and get some extra perks, consider joining as a channel member. I truly appreciate every bit of support. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care of that beautiful, imperfect mind of yours. Good night.